Hi everyone, welcome for this new video. I'm Elloa, the community manager for Embers Adrift.
And I'm Drindin, aka John Gust, the executive producer on Embers Adrift.
This series of video, gritty gameplay with Elloa and Drindin, is aimed to show you the early game footage of our game and to share with you a very raw, very honest, very authentic experience from both of us.
Yeah, so no special cameras or anything like that. It's just going to be us playing the game. So we hope you enjoy.
This is your character selection screen, right about the embering. And emberings are going to be something very important in your adventure. So I do have a striker, I have a tank. I'm going to create my third and last character, a support.
So Drindin is typically a shorter than average fella. He's pretty strong, but he's not like buff, you know. He's got the dad bod going on. Let's see, what do we want here? Yeah, that's a pretty good shade there. Oh, it's gotta have the brown hair. Let's see what we got for. Well, let's put some clothes on him. Gear, no, leave that off for now. Let's pick a color.
I know exactly the character I want to create here. With a small ponytail, some dark hair, and I'm choosing my shirts. It's very important. Choose your favorite color.
I like our system here. You can change the top back and the braid. Gotta have a beard, of course. Drindin's a bearded fellow. That's kind of cool. Stick with that. Of course, there's a lot of different varieties in here. You can choose to be chunky, lithe, kind of fit, or completely ripped. Go with this one for Drindin here.
I'm typing my name, Elloa Heals, and I'm choosing the role support. We do have 3 roles: striker or damage dealer, supports, which include heals and buffs, and defender, which is your tank.
Once you get to level 10, you specialize in the 3 of these base roles. It basically branches into 3 more options. You're still the base role, but you can choose some flavor, and one of those, which I'm really excited about, is a crowd control line. So very excited about that. It's super important in our game. There's a lot of strategy in our game. There's a lot of kind of quirks with the combat that allow you to really be successful in those strategies, or give you the ability to really get good at the game. So let's dive in and we'll take a look at some of that.
As it's a first player experience, you do have a tutorial popping up as nice little windows on the side. We are not going to read them today, but this will give you a good indication of the basic. You need to imagine that you just arrived. You just crossed the bridge. After a very long and horrible journey through the Darklands, you arrived in South New Haven in this beautiful and peaceable little landscape. And we could do the quest over here, but as our quests are not ready yet, it will be for the next episode. So here is our character. The first things to do, obviously, when you start up a game is to check out your interface. So every little window can be changed and placed differently. It is not the default view that you see right now on my screen, because it's saved by account, and so that's my personal way of setting up. But as you can see, you can resize your window and really place them where you prefer. You can check your option as well to find your keybind and changing them or keeping them in place and discover everything you need to know. The next thing to check is your inventory and your equipment. So B for bag, E for inventory. You can see that I have nothing. I do not have any pieces of armor beside a shirt, my favorite shirt, my muddy pants, and my muddy boots. I do also have 3 sets of weapons. Each role do have 3 sets of weapons. So the support do have access to offhand, that's offhand, and a sword, a crossbow, and a staff. I want to be a monk, so I will remove my sword and my banner, and I will use the staff, and the crossbow will be my secondary weapon. I can choose a title. I'm a GM. There we go. And we can choose a portrait as well to personalize your portrait bar. There we go. No, here for this girl. Let's take that one. All right, let's start our adventures. So,
just for your information, I'm running a 1080 with 16 gigs of RAM, and I am on all the highest settings. Well, I guess my vegetation density's down. We can show you what that's like with it up high. So, lots of vegetation. Still runs pretty smooth there. We'll run it on high vegetation for a while and see how that goes. Other than that, I have some shadows turned off. Let's see what it's like. Yeah, that is nice. It's real nice with the shadows there. It's a little more choppy, as you can see. Shadows cost a lot in performance, so you know, with a 1080 and 16 gigs of RAM, it is very doable to run the game in really nice settings. However, obviously, if you turn those down, it'll run even smoother. Go back to medium here for a bit. Obviously, you have some sliders to move around. Maybe we'll turn off contact shadows and see if we can keep the grass shadows on there. Maybe we should do the opposite. Maybe we should turn off grass shadows and leave the contact shadows on. That looks kind of nice. Alright. Well, let's get rolling here as the sun's coming up. Really love the HDRP pipeline that we have. We're using Unity to develop our game. You can see I just discovered a halo. Those are respawn points. Anytime you go to an ember ring, you can also find a halo nearby, and it's good to discover as many of those as you can, because those are like spawn points for when you pass out in battle. If you give up in battle, you'll respawn at a halo near an ember ring, so you'll be able to rejuvenate your wounds and your health and all that. So that's good.
I will still take a crafting. So we just reintroduced crafting with this character. I will take the forestry. There we go. We're going to pick up flowers, guys. Let's hunt for some flowers.
Let's pick a harvesting. I think I want to be a hunter. Drindin's typically a prospector, but I think in our game he's going to be a hunter. Now, when I take a profession, I do have to equip my tool for that.
And we have our first victim, a young stag. Here you can see the indication that will let you some very precious information related to the difficulty of your target. First, the colors, young or red, mean if it's aggressive or not aggressive. And then you have the little chevron next to the name. The color indicates the difficulty related to your level. White means it's just right your level. If it's blue or green, it means it's too low. And if it's yellow, orange, and red, it means it's higher level. If there's one chevron, this target is aimed for solo content. If there's two chevron, it's for a small group, like 3 players, for instance. And if you have 3 chevron, that means you need a proper group with the different roles and also maybe a good strategy.
Guards are very helpful. They can tell you lots of different interesting facts. They can help you find your sense of direction, tell you how you can heal your wounds, tell you about our shared storage system, repair your equipment, buy and sell goods. They kind of have a lot of good information for you. So here we have a shoat. Shoat is the term for a baby boar, by the way. You can see this guy's much lower level than I am. It's green to me. That means it's a very reasonable challenge. 1 chevron is for solo play, 2 chevrons is for small group, and 3 chevrons is for full group experience. We're looking for a way to bring everyone into the game. Of course, our game is a group-based gameplay game, so we do encourage people to group up. You can hit the O button and you can just check looking for group. That way, any group that is looking for more players can see your name here. You can also head up and get a little more in depth with what you're looking for. If you're looking to go crawl dungeons, you can hit that up. Just regular hunting in the overland, you can get that. Crafting, mentoring, I think this one's an important one. If you're online and you're an experienced player and you just want to help people, you can click this tag, hit OK. People can see that you're looking to help them with mentoring new players. So if you're running around South New Haven, put that tag on. People who are lower level can reach out to you, send a tell. I can't click on myself, of course, but if I were to right click on this on someone else, there'd be a context menu with a bunch of options, including send a tell or send an invite.
As you can see, it is not a problem to solo a target. It is just a little bit slow, because our combat is slow-paced. The reason is slow-paced combat allows for more strategic decision, but it also gives you more occasion to socialize. Type a message in the chat, make friends. You don't have to be on your toes all the time. You can sometimes be AFK for a little moment, and you're not going to ruin the fun of your group because you're being sitting on the side for 5 minutes. This is also the reason why we want our combat to be slower. It allows you to take the time to maybe check the landscape or to get away, because you know, if those one were aggressive, I will be in trouble right now. So positioning in this game will be important. As a solo player starting up, not so much.
Alright, what's next on the menu here? Okay, so you can see that now I have a nameplate above my head, and that is something that we have a lot of control over as players in Embers Adrift. I typically don't like to roll with my own nameplate on, and you can turn nameplates on and off by hitting N. Right now, they're on for myself and for NPCs, so let's see here. Let's get to some NPCs and take a look. There we go. So we got a young buck there, 2 chevron, much lower than me, so I should be able to probably fight that and win, but he is a 2 chevron, so he's a lot beefier. But this rabbit here, you know, we can see all kinds of nameplates. Now when you get into some crampier spots like in the dungeons, nameplates can kind of muddy up the works a little bit, so I want to show you guys what we can do about that. And go into our settings, gameplay. Obviously, if I hit N, that goes on and off. But I can also turn off group members, other players, and myself, so that just the NPC and their stat bar is on. Well, and also if I were to turn myself back on, you'd see that, but I can also turn off stat bars, which is the health bar and the stamina bar. So I like to leave that on just because if I'm fighting stuff, I want to see how close it is to death. So let's take a look out there now, so you can see my name tag is off, my status is off. I'm going to have my group window with all my group members, and I can see all their stats and stuff, so I don't need to have their nameplates or my nameplates on. But in a dungeon situation, it's nice because you just see what NPCs are there. It's very helpful. So you can also have a defensive and offensive target. So if I click on my nameplate, I'll have my blue ring here, I've got my red ring there. If you hit F when you have a group member selected, you will assist their offensive target. If you have an offensive target selected and you hit Shift F, you will target their offensive target. So let's say you're a healer, things are getting crazy, you don't know who's getting attacked, everyone's low health, and you don't know which group mate is currently being targeted by the enemy. You click on them, hit Shift F, and heal the heck out of them. If you are trying not to wake up a stunned mob, and there's like a big conglomerate of mobs all in one area, you can click on your tank and hit F, and that will target their target. Now, truly, we do appreciate this as tanks, and crowd control people greatly appreciate that too. Crowd control is a pretty serious tactic in our game, so you will run into people using stuns, roots, all kinds of cool things like that, and they might not be super happy if you wake up their sleeping target, because we are a slower paced, more strategic game, and that means our cooldowns are a lot longer than in other games. You know, my resistant there is a minute long, so combat is much more strategic, it's much more analytical. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with, how we want to handle the situation. I love that about our game. I think a lot of people have been looking for that in an MMORPG again, where we don't just rush into a room and just slaughter everything, but we have to take a hard look at what we're dealing with, and if we can overcome the challenge with what we've got, or if we want to maybe use a different approach, use some crowd control tactics, pull to a safe location. That's an important one. We don't just typically run into rooms populated with a lot of NPC enemies in Embers Adrift. We usually find a safe spot, grab an enemy one at a time, pull them to the safe place so we don't get a ton of ads, and fight our way through. And we'll get to see that more as Elloa and I get more and more into gritty gameplay sessions here.
So the advantage as a support is the fact that you can heal yourself in between fights. So maybe you're hitting a little bit slower than others, granted. But in between each fight, I can use a bandage, which is a regen, by the way. I use my bandage and I can continue my adventure. While the striker or the defender might have to sit down and rest to recover their stamina, or to go back to the fire to recover their health. So this is something that you do not see so much anymore into modern MMORPG, and that's also one of the reasons why it's very boring to be a healer or tank in some games. Oh no, I need to equip my sickle. There we go. Oh, and I have an axe for the wood. Alright. Let's gather this little plant. So any of the crafting profession will require all of the gathering profession. This will really allow player to and kind of force them to interact with each other, to trade and help each other to improve their crafting, or to have the right resource to craft the right item. So I think it's pretty cool because in general, if you're a blacksmith, you have to be a miner. Well, here you will need everything. You see, here this shot is yellow. So it's a little bit stuck. Oh no! Oh no 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 no! There's a brown beer. Ah ha ha ha! There we go. Perfect example. Nice. So I do have 2 targets on me, but the brown beer, there's no way that I'm going to kill this. So I'm running for my life in the direction of the camp because the guard will be taking care of the beer. And they follow you for a while, so you can do some train of mobs and different tactics to drag the mob very, very far. So this is something that can be at your disadvantage if you're caught off guard, or that you can utilize. There we go, we'll see the guards is going to take care of them. There we are. Guards, please take the beer. No, take the beer. Ah, there we go. Very nice. Good job, guards. Good job. This will be the occasion to show... Oops. Do not walk in the fire because it burns. We can sit and I will recover my health. If I had been wounded, and I will show that another time, it will also restore my wound. So let's take a look at the merchant. What kind of supplies does it propose? First, the bandage. That's very important as a healer, as a support. The bandage is the base region that will allow me to utilize my spells. If I don't have bandage, I cannot heal anyone. The smelling salt can be utilized by everyone, every role. This is what you will be using if you're not a healer to resurrect someone who fall in combat. So you just make them smell the salt and they're going back to their sense. Obviously foods will be important as it gives you a small buff of regeneration and some other effect. And the potion, if you are not together with a support in your group, or if you want to help out your support to not use all its stamina on you, utilize. It is important to have a good stack of health potion. And then you of course have your ammo and some of the crafting materials that you will need, and then the torch. In this game, when it's dark, it's dark. You need a torch or a lantern or a ground torch. A ground torch is a torch that you can place on the ground to light up an area for a little while.
Take a minute to talk about the team a little bit. I'm just so proud of our little indie team. We've got 11 devs, almost all of them full-time. And they're working hard. We're working super hard to bring you guys a great game, one that is, you know, highly involved in taking feedback from our community. Our community's been great. They've helped us test every Wednesday. you know, very critical but very productive feedback, and a lot of changes have happened in the game due to their feedback. And one of the things that we in Stormhaven Studios always try to do is let the best idea rise to the top and go with that. So whether that comes from community member or any of our team members, we always try to analyze everything and let the best ideas prevail.
And voila, that's it for today. Thank you so very much for watching this video, guys. If you have any question, do not hesitate to leave them in the comments below. Also, check out our social media, our website, where you will find all information regarding Embers Adrift, and join our Discord server. That's where the community is chit-chatting every day.
And also, you know, if you enjoyed the video, you think you might enjoy Embers Adrift, please like, subscribe, and share. And also, you have an opportunity to join our alpha test team by pre-ordering the game on our website. So join us in 2022 as we approach our launch. We will have test opportunities every weekend, and of course on Wednesday evenings, Central Time, 8 o'clock, we will be personally, the devs join the community in testing. So we can't wait to hear your feedback. We'd love to have you on the team to help us test. So until then, have a great time and take care.
Take care of yourself and see you soon for another video. Bye!
Bye-bye.